The Chicago Bears have made 3 notable roster moves ahead of their crucial Week 8 matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, a game that could heavily influence their mid-season trajectory. However, what should have been a week of anticipation has quickly turned into one of frustration, especially surrounding cornerback Kyler Gordon's ongoing battle with injuries. The team's official injury report confirmed that Gordon has once again been placed on injured reserve, marking another unfortunate chapter in what has become a troubling pattern. His absence will leave a major void in Chicago's secondary, already strained by other injuries and inconsistencies across the defensive unit. The news comes as the Bears aim to improve to 5-2 on the season, but they'll now be forced to adjust their defensive plans without one of their most important players. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens situation has raised eyebrows across the league. Lamar Jackson was initially listed as a full participant in practice before a late clarification was issued, stating he did not take starting reps. Many around the league have criticized the situation, with some calling for the Ravens to face fines for inaccurate injury reporting. Regardless, the Bears must focus on their own roster turbulence as they prepare to face a physical Ravens squad, now led by running back Derrick Henry, who continues to be the engine of Baltimore's offense. The Bears' latest round of roster decisions includes placing both left tackle Braxton Jones and cornerback Kyler Gordon on injured reserve. These moves, though necessary, highlight the team's ongoing struggle to maintain stability within its starting lineup. Braxton Jones' placement on IR has particularly drawn attention. Once viewed as a promising part of Chicago's offensive line rebuild, Jones has had a rocky season marked by inconsistency, benchings, and now injury. Prior to being sidelined, he had logged 210 regular season snaps, allowing 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, and 11 pressures. His blocking grades, both in pass protection and the run game, were among the lowest for Bears linemen this year. Jones had already lost his starting role to Theo Benedict midway through the Raiders game after a string of underwhelming performances. What frustrates many within the organization is that Jones' injury now eliminates the possibility of trading him for draft capital. The timing has fueled speculation that his knee issues emerged only after losing his starting position, though official details remain unclear. Despite his struggles, Jones' absence still leaves a void. Theo Benedict, his replacement, has not capitalized on his opportunity. Against the New Orleans Saints, Benedict allowed multiple hurries and committed 2 penalties across 68 snaps, further amplifying the offensive line's instability. Bears coaches have hinted at possible changes in the upcoming matchup, including the potential use of A's Chapel, though that remains undecided. These developments have placed significant strain on the Bears' coaching staff. As the team prepares for a Ravens defense known for its aggressive pressure packages, Chicago's offensive line rotation has become a pressing concern. Consistency and communication, both essential for protecting rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, remain elusive at a critical stretch of the season. If there is one issue haunting the Bears beyond offensive line struggles, it's the recurring absence of Kyler Gordon. Once heralded as a cornerstone of the franchise's defensive rebuild, Gordon's inability to stay healthy has become a major talking point among fans and analysts alike. His latest trip to injured reserve, this time for calf and groin issues, further undermines a defense that has already lost multiple starters in the secondary. Gordon's talent has never been questioned. At his best, he is one of the league's more physical and instinctive nickel corners, capable of shadowing receivers and contributing in run support. But the repeated injuries have erased his availability, and availability is, as the saying goes, the most important ability in the NFL. Having recently signed a contract worth around $40 million, his absence feels even more costly. In just 2 games this season, Gordon recorded 5 tackles without a single pass deflection, interception, or forced fumble. While the sample size is small, the lack of impact plays adds to the frustration. The team has repeatedly emphasized the importance of Gordon's health for their defensive schemes, particularly given his ability to support against the run, an area that will be heavily tested by Derrick Henry this week. The Bears' secondary depth is now dangerously thin. Jalen Johnson is already on injured reserve, leaving Tariq Stevenson as the most reliable remaining cornerback. Fortunately, Stevenson has been outstanding in recent weeks, ranking among the top defensive backs in the NFC. He has accumulated 6 pass deflections, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 2 recoveries, demonstrating the playmaking ability Chicago desperately needs. However, beyond Stevenson, the options are limited. Najee Wright, a former practice squad player with minimal NFL experience, has now been elevated to the top cornerback role. Wright's size and physicality are positives, but asking him to contain Baltimore's explosive playmakers is a tall order, especially without Gordon and Johnson available. This lack of depth extends to Chicago's overall defensive unit. The team's run defense, anchored by Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, and Andrew Billings, will face one of its toughest tests yet. Derrick Henry remains the centerpiece of Baltimore's offense, averaging 5 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns in 6 games. Chicago's defensive success this Sunday hinges on stopping Henry before he reaches the second level, where missed tackles and poor containment could lead to game-changing runs. Head coach Matt Eberflus and defensive coordinator Alan Williams have emphasized tackling discipline throughout practice this week. The Bears' front seven has shown flashes of dominance recently. Dexter leads the team with 2.5 sacks, while Montez Sweat has generated 14 quarterback pressures in the past 2 games alone. But the margin for error will be razor-thin without key secondary support. Adding to the pressure, the Ravens' passing game remains unpredictable. With Lamar Jackson ruled out for this matchup, backup quarterback Tyler Huntley will start. While Huntley doesn't possess Jackson's dynamic running ability, he is efficient in short-yardage throws and can extend plays. For Chicago, that means increased emphasis on interior pressure and maintaining containment lanes, areas where Kyler Gordon's presence would have made a difference, particularly on third down. Fans' frustration with Gordon's health has reached a boiling point. Many view his constant injuries as a reflection not only of his own durability, but also of the Bears' training and conditioning program. The question remains, was signing him to a long-term deal a mistake? On paper, the move made sense. In practice, however, the results have been underwhelming. Without Gordon, the Bears' defense will have to rely on its depth, communication, and resilience. Tariq Stevenson, Najee Wright, and safety Jaquan Brisker will need to step up against Baltimore's offense. The stakes are high, and the margin for error has shrunk to almost nothing. Amid the frustration and roster uncertainty, the Bears did make one addition that could quietly prove significant. Defensive lineman Jonathan Ford, a massive interior presence standing 6'6" and weighing over 340 pounds, has officially been signed from the practice squad to the active 53-man roster. Ford has been active in recent weeks and has impressed coaches with his sheer size, strength, and ability to clog running lanes. Though his individual stat line remains quiet, no tackles or sacks yet, his impact is felt through the production of those around him. Since Ford began rotating in, Montez Sweat's quarterback pressures have increased, and the Bears' overall run defense efficiency has improved. Ford's addition couldn't come at a better time. Facing Derrick Henry requires both power and discipline up front. Ford's ability to absorb double teams frees up edge rushers and linebackers to make plays. Coaches have likened his presence to that of former Bears standout Akeem Hicks, a towering interior lineman whose strength set the tone for the entire defense. Ford even shares Hicks' number, wearing 96. The former Auburn product was originally drafted by the Green Bay Packers in 2022 and joined the Bears' practice squad last year. Now, at age 26, he has earned his opportunity to contribute meaningfully at the professional level. Within the Bears' defensive rotation, Ford will line up alongside Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, and Chris Williams, forming one of the largest and most physical interior fronts in the league. Chicago's defensive coaching staff has praised Ford for his work ethic and steady improvement. During practice sessions, he has shown an ability to push the pocket and collapse running lanes, a vital skill set against a Ravens team that thrives on inside zone and power run schemes. With Lamar Jackson out, Baltimore is expected to lean even more heavily on Derrick Henry, making Ford's presence critical. The Bears' defensive front must now shoulder the burden created by injuries elsewhere. With the secondary depleted, the best way to protect inexperienced defensive backs is through constant pressure and control of the line of scrimmage. Ford's power up the middle, combined with Sweat's edge speed and Dexter's interior quickness, gives Chicago at least a fighting chance to neutralize Henry and force the Ravens into passing situations. As kickoff approaches, emotions within the Bears' locker room are mixed: frustration at the injuries, but also determination to prove resilience. The coaching staff has emphasized that adversity defines character, and this week will test just how deep that belief runs. The team remains focused on achieving its goal of a winning record and positioning itself for a playoff push. A victory against a physical Ravens squad would go a long way toward proving Chicago's growth under pressure. For Bears fans, the emotions are understandable. Kyler Gordon's injury history is maddening. Braxton Jones' inconsistency has been equally frustrating. But amid the setbacks, There are still bright spots: Tariq Stevenson's emergence, Montez Sweat's dominance, and Jonathan Ford's rise offer glimpses of a promising defensive core. The reality of the NFL is that every season brings setbacks, but the great teams find ways to adapt. Chicago's ability to weather this storm will reveal much about the franchise's trajectory under its current leadership. As one of the most storied franchises in football history, the Bears know what perseverance looks like. They'll need every bit of that identity to pull off a win against Baltimore. The challenge is clear: contain Derrick Henry, pressure Tyler Huntley, and find offensive rhythm behind a reshuffled line. It's a tall task, but one that could turn frustration into momentum if executed correctly. For now, all eyes are on Sunday. The Bears' depth will be tested, their resilience measured, and their fan base, ever passionate, ever hopeful, will once again rally behind a team that refuses to quit, no matter how many setbacks come its way.